Hello friends, welcome back to my channel once again after a long time. So today I am going to show you one experiment, and after the experiment I am going to explain what you have seen. So let's start the experiment, and for the experiment I am using AquaGuard. That means I need water resources, so that's why I am using AquaGuard, and containers, that's it. So let's start. So I am using this one just for the height because I want to fix my pipe at a certain height. So this is my pipe. So now what I will do, I will just switch on this water supply and I will show you that the water is going to come out of the pipe and it is going to just reach, or it is going to just reach this container. Just see, watch it. Let's switch on. Now as you can see here, this is the height at which I am keeping my pipe, and this is the range up to which the water is reaching, and this is the container up to, or the position up to which the water is reaching. So now let's just do another thing. Just switch off. Now what I have done, I have just taken a pen. This is a pen. That is what I have right now. I have just taken the pen and just attached in front of this pipe, as you can see, such that the area of cross section becomes narrower. This one is narrower right now, you can see here. So now I am keeping it just at the same height, and you see what is happening. Let's just switch on. Now you can see what is the range and what is the speed with which the water is coming out of the narrow cross section. Now you can see the range is very high and the speed with which the water is coming out is also very high. So now let's just do the reverse one. What is the reverse one? I will just take this narrow one and attach it to the pipe, and I will show you that what is happening. So let's see. Now you can see I have attached the narrower portion inside this pipe, and the broader portion you can see here is just at the other end. So I am switching on and you see what is happening. What is happening? Just see. Here is the container. I have not removed the container. So let's check what is happening. Now where I am getting the water, you can see I have to take the container nearer because the range decreases. So now here I have shown you three things. One is this is the original pipe. You can see the width of the original pipe. You can see here. This one is the narrower cross section, and this one is the broader cross section. You can compare this two. This is very narrow and this one is slightly broader. So this two you can compare. This is narrow, this is broader, and this is the, in comparison to this one is narrow. So three things I have shown you. Right now we will try to explain what we have seen. Just think it over. Just keep this video pause for 2 minutes. Think about it and then again watch it to understand what is happening here. So let's have the discussion that what we have seen. So what I have shown you, this is, suppose this is the width of the pipe, original pipe. This is, let us take it as 1. Second, I have shown a narrower cross section. Suppose this is the narrower cross section. And the third, I have a broader cross section. So what we have seen, suppose the area of cross section of this one is A1. And the area of cross section is this one is A2. And this one is A3. So what we have seen, the velocity with which, suppose I am taking this original pipe as the reference, the velocity with which the water coming out of this pipe is V1. In comparison to this original pipe, this V2 is greater. We have compared, V2 is greater than V1. And the velocity with which the water is coming out of this broader cross section, let us take it as V3, which is very less. That means V3 is very, very less. So this is what we have observed from our experiment. So try to derive an equation mathematically and try to understand that why this happens. Whatever observation we have got in from the experiment, so let's do it mathematically. This derivation is known as equation of continuity. Equation of continuity. Suppose we have a pipe of this type of construction. That means a portion of the pipe is broader, then gradually it becomes constricted. Let us take the area of cross section of this broader region is A1 and the area of cross section in the constricted portion is A2. Then the water that is moving, suppose let us take the water is moving inside this or flowing inside this pipe which is kept horizontal and the density of the water is rho. I am taking the density to be the same. So here let us suppose the water is moving with the velocity V1 and here the water is moving with the velocity V2. So in time delta t, try to understand, in time delta t, the water is going to cover certain distance and distance is nothing but velocity multiplied into time. So this distance is nothing but V1 delta t. Similarly, within the same interval of time, if I will calculate what is the distance covered by the water in the constricted portion, that would be equals to V2 times delta t, because distance is nothing but velocity multiplied into time. So now, if I am going to calculate what is the mass of the water or the mass of the water that is flowing here in this region, suppose this region is A, that means the broader region, and this is the region B, which is constricted region or narrower region. The mass of water, if I am going to calculate, what is my mass? Mass is nothing but density multiplied into volume. So for this region, region A, if I am going to calculate the mass M1, which is nothing but density of the water flowing is equals to rho, and volume is nothing but how to calculate the volume. Now try to understand. This portion is nothing but a cylinder. So if I'll take a cylinder, try to understand the volume of a cylinder. Formula for the volume of a cylinder is nothing but pi r square h. So what is pi r square? This pi r square is nothing but the cross-sectional area that I have taken as A here. So this is Let us choose the cross-sectional area to be capital A, and what is h? H is nothing but the height. This is the height of the cylinder. So that means A into h is going to give you the volume of the cylinder. So similarly here, instead of A into h, what I can write? A1, and what is my height? Height is nothing but the distance traveled, which is nothing but V1 delta T. So I can write here for volume A1 V1 delta T. So this is the volume. So again, if I am going to calculate what is the mass that is flowing through this constricted region or narrower region or region B, let us write it as M2. Then M2 will be equals to same density of, I am taking the same, rho, and here the volume is nothing but the area of cross section is A2, and the distance traveled or the height here is nothing but V2 delta T. So A2 V2 delta T. So this is our observation. Now try to understand. Mass is always conserved. So according to conservation of mass, M1 must be equals to M2. This is very important. Your M1 must be equals to M2. Now M1 is equals to M2 means let's just substitute the values. A1 rho A1 V1 delta T should be equals to rho A2 V2 delta T. So what happens? This rho gets cancelled. And what we are getting, this is a very important observation, that is the volume of the water that is entering through this broader portion is exactly equals to the volume of the water leaving in the constricted portion. That means the rate of flow, that means the amount of water entering is exactly equals to the amount of water leaving, or the rate of flow of water remains constant. Another thing, this is one observation that we are getting. Another observation, you cancel delta T from the above equation. If you will cancel delta T from the above equation, second case what I am doing? I am cancelling this delta T from the above equation. So what I am getting? I am getting an equation which is equals to A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. This is very important. What is it? A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. Now this is called the equation of continuity. This one is equation of continuity. So what is its application? You see here, the application is here. What we are getting? That means AV is equals to constant. That means the product of area of cross section and the velocity with which the liquid is flowing will always remain constant. If the flow is streamlined, the liquid is incompressible, and it is moving inside or maintaining a steady flow in a horizontal pipe, then only this formula will be valid. This is a very important formula which valid when it's non-viscous. It should be non-viscous, incompressible, and it should maintain a streamlined flow. Then only this formula will be valid. And you can just analyze this formula here. You see what is happening? Whenever the area decreases, cross-sectional area decreases, that means the narrow pipe that we have observed, the velocity increases such that the product of area and velocity remains constant. Similarly, in a broader pipe, or that we have seen in the video, if the area of cross-section increases, the velocity decreases such that the product of A3 and V3 will remain constant, which should be equals to A1 V1, which is nothing but the initial original pipe A1 V1, product of A1 V1. So this is a very important observation, and I think most of you are using it in daily life, but unknowingly that you are using physics. How? I am just telling you. Some of you must be washing the car or washing the floors of the outside your home, you must be washing the floors by using a pipe. Whenever there is a requirement of you want to throw the water to large distance, what you usually do? Usually what you do, you just constrict or you just press the front cross section of the pipe such that the range increases or the velocity increases and you can reach up to larger distance. That you usually do in day-to-day life, but unknowingly that you are using physics. So this you can share among your friends, among your family members, that how physics is actually helping us. Similarly, all of you can apply another, all of you must have observed this thing, that when there is a sea, when you are standing in the bank of the sea, you can see very high tides. But if you go deeper into the sea is actually stagnant. It's still, there is no tides in the deeper sea. Why is it so? Because in the deeper sea, area increases. The area is so vast that the velocity of the water or the velocity of the tides are negligible. So this is actually the outcome of this equation of continuity. What is the equation of continuity that we have derived? Which is nothing but AV is equals to constant. So this is the outcome. Let's see another video and try to understand this. V1 is equals to V2. That means the volume of the water remains constant. Try to understand it. Now all of you see another thing that I have explained in the formula that I am going to show you. Now you see, I have a container in the form of a cup. I will show you the time taken. This is a stopwatch I am using. The time at which the cup is going to be entirely full. That means the water level will be up to the brim of this cup. What is the time taken by this narrower portion or by using the normal pipe that I have? Then after that I will just attach this pin, you can say like this, and make it further narrower, and I will show you that it is taking almost the same time to fill up to the same volume. Let's check it. Now you see, I am switching it on. Just check, all of you. When the water level will be entirely filled, I will just... So what is the time interval? It's coming almost 13.57. So time interval is almost 13.57. Just remember it, and I am going to do it again through the narrower cross section. Let's just reset. Now I am just switching it on. So you can see that it's coming almost same. That is, now you can see here the time that is blinking over here is 13.70. So that means almost same time is required to fill the same volume of the cup. Means the amount of water coming out, or the volume of the water, or the rate of flow remains the same. As you have seen in the video, what you have seen? Within this, I have chosen a cup over there, and the water, the time taken to fill the cup, that means the volume. The volume or the time remains constant, means you can conclude here that the amount of water that is gathered inside the cup remains same. So this is a very important example to prove that the rate of flow is constant. So though our area of cross section of the pipe is different, but still the rate of flow is constant. So I hope so all of you have enjoyed this video and all of you have learned something. If you have any questions, do comment below. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching.